Hi guys, this is Simeon and Alex here from the Swedish Homestead YouTube channel. We wanted to make a video and just give you an update on where we are at in the process of moving and what's going on with the whole coronavirus thing and how that's affecting our move and our family right now. And let me just say up front real quick that we're super excited for everything ahead, but right now our videos are just not these super exciting watch this new farm thing we're doing until we have moved, and you know, it'll be more a little bit of a vlogging nature, and some people have complained about this, but that's just how it's gonna be. All we can do and all we want to do is just share an authentic lifestyle, and that's what we're doing right now.
Right now we're getting ready and packing a lot, and like we've said and we've showed in videos, we've sold a lot of our animals. So as far as like typical homestead life, there's not much going on for us. So
yeah, I mean, we still have animals, and I do my chores every morning, every evening. You know, there will be some animals staying on the farm, but it's not the usually spring prep we're gonna do.
We're more trying to wind things down instead of normally at this time of year. As a farmer or homesteader, you're just amping up for spring and summer, and we're not making soil blocks right now. We're not planting seeds in our house. Normally our house is already full of tomato and pepper plants, and so it is quite different, but I think it's good for us right now. Like it's good that we know we're gonna move and we can move forward with it and have less to take care of here in our house.
I have such a childish excitement over what's laying ahead. And we're planning on moving in May, and our courses start in May. So we hope actually that it'll all work out because of the whole coronavirus thing. Right now the borders are shut, so we couldn't go. But
not Sweden, but Germany and
but
Austria.
I mean the border to Denmark is shut, and border between Germany and Austria is shut, and. Yeah, we'll just have to see if that will affect it or how it will affect it. But, you know, right now, we couldn't be at a better spot than we are at, living here on the countryside. And somebody asked us if we had food recently. And my answer was, we have food for a year.
Yeah. I mean, but that's normal. That's not because because we've now gone and bought a bunch of stuff, but rather in the summer, at the end of the summer, we bought all the potatoes we would need for the whole season until the next ones start, until we can get the next ones, and also from a local farmer. We didn't just go to the grocery store. We have meat, like a huge variety of meat in our freezers.
Turkey, chicken, pork, beef.
Yeah. And I mean, and fish still, actually.
Fish from our lake.
Yeah. So we are not. It's kind of funny, like most people think, you see a lot of people saying, what do you stock up on? And here in Sweden, and I think all over Europe, it seems that everybody is going and buying pasta, like dried pasta. Other things too, but that's one thing that's sold out. And, you know, I mean, of course it can hold, keep a long time in the without being refrigerated, but we're just like, we have such a variety of things that if we really were like on lockdown or quarantined, we could still eat really good food. We wouldn't feel like we'd be suffering.
Yeah, and this is nothing where we're just like, oh, look at us, how well we have it. But this is something we have talked about ever since we've had this channel for years. I think in his book, Folks, This Ain't Normal, Joel Salatin talks about this in detail and in length, how right now people trust others with the most basic thing they need for life, which is food and water. And you know, that is something our society has become so vulnerable, and this is not just anything that homesteaders are talking about. Actually, the Swedish Food Safety Agency, they have been talking about this for a very long time, that Sweden, for example, is horribly vulnerable in this. That right now, Sweden is as bad off as it was in 1917 around World War, or 1913. I don't remember, but around World War One there, where people were starving here because Sweden didn't have a good healthy food supply, and with this just-in-time concept that food is not supposed to be stored ever, it's just supposed to be a trailer, store shelf, customer, eaten, but no storing. Back then houses were packed with food. It wasn't that just the farmers had the food. I mean, even people had larders and pantries. And
nowadays, most people don't even have room if they need, especially people like you think living in city apartments or something. If they need to stock up on something, it's difficult to find places to put it. Even.
They don't even. Some apartments don't even have kitchens anymore, and it's just such a weird thing. I mean, that the most basic and important need you have, that you entrust other people with that.
No, it's not that we're just so overconfident and thinking we have it all taken care of, and look at us, we're so whatever. I don't know, like, we're not arrogant in this, but like I think he tried to say, this is something we've thought of so many times. Like, when we buy our potatoes, we are so thankful, or when we have our garlic, or when we have our meat, we are so thankful to have a freezer full, or wherever it may be full. And we look at that and we're like, wow, even if something would happen, like, we have food that would get us through. Like, even if it just came down to we are stuck eating potatoes, we would survive forever.
I mean, but we have such a variety. We have several 50-pound bags of grain and a grain mill. We can make all bread. The thing is that this right now, even if Sweden would go into further lockdown and everything, we will still eat and feast like we always do. We will pretty much have no impact for a very long time. We even buy salt in higher quantities. That's just how we do it, and this is nothing that has anything to do with prepping, in my opinion. This is just something people have done for centuries and thousands of years, and the way of modern living, to me, is very vulnerable, not sustainable, and it's very odd and weird compared to the rest of history here on our planet and with humanity. So it's just something I hope that people will realize. Don't trust Costco or another supermarket wherever you live. You take it in your own hands, and also it's like, if you usually buy your food from the local farmer, your food supply is right now not interrupted.
Yeah.
He still has your food. He still supplies you with it. It's just that if you buy your food from the store or places where it has been shipped for 1,000 miles or more, well, that is going to be interrupted. And there are a dozen or way more things that can happen than just the coronavirus that can bring that to a cease. And which is really thankful, that the conscious decision that we have made over the last years are just proving themselves to be very good and wise decisions right now.
Yeah, and I hope that people through this will start to maybe think about this whole system and this concept a little bit more. Because, I mean, we don't necessarily need to go into that right now, but I feel like there's so much that people can do, even if you are living a suburban life, or
Absolutely.
even in an apartment. It's not like you have to be the one to have your own cow or your own pig or have your whole garden. Like, there are so many ways around it, but even in that situation, you can be wise with how you look at your food supply. And
I mean, what you said earlier, the potatoes is just the example where for the last 2 years we haven't grown our own potatoes because it just made a lot of sense for us time-wise and all that to buy them from another local farmer here. And we went to that farmer, and they were selling on one of these local Facebook groups, and everybody was just buying 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 1 kilo, and we went there and we said we want 200 kilos. And the farmer was like, what? But that we got such a cheap price on these non-sprayed, locally grown, with just, no chemical fertilizers, all that. We got a cheaper price on that than the horribly sprayed, chemical dumped on potatoes in the store.
Yeah.
and we just have them, And I think people say, we don't have room and everything. Well, I think people could do a lot more than they do. And we just want to encourage you to think about those kind of things. And if you're in a difficult place right now, I'm sure that there are people who are wanting to help and willing to help. And this whole thing is really creating a panic among the people. I think that the economic effects of it, and I've already heard of people taking their lives because their hotel business and other things are completely ruined because of this. And it's, to me, also like a really weird things going on. On one hand, entire countries shut down, entire cities shut down. It's like this crazy hysteria and panic. And then on the other hand, we know of 3 cases where people were quite sick and they had the symptoms and they wanted to get tested and they wouldn't even let them be tested. One of the cases, a friend, who even had to call the ambulance to their home because they had breathing difficulties, yet they refused to give her a corona test. And I'm just, okay, this is weird. And we were actually in touch with that person, and so I thought, oh wow, now we'll have to go into quarantine. But no, we actually, the government says no, we don't. So it's kind of really weird. And to be honest, I mean, everybody knows that this is something that everybody will, or not everybody, but the majority of the population will get, and we'll just have to build up a natural immunity to it. I think it's just the most important part here is to be smart and to also eat healthy and keep your immune system up, and to not expose those people who are sick or weak or old, who are in the risk groups. That's enough about the coronavirus thing. Let's just talk about our move and where we are at. We have been packing a bunch. Our house is a bit chaotic. We have a lot of boxes already. Yeah,
although yesterday we got some of the boxes that were standing in the way. We put them somewhere else so they're out of the way. I think we're trying to get the chaos to be minimalized, even though it will be here inevitably, but we'll try to, I don't know. I think it's better. We don't mind having an empty looking house for a while, but if there's boxes everywhere or something all the time, that would be really challenging, probably.
Yeah. I mean, several boxes have been standing around here already, but we have this cupboard behind us is empty, and the bookshelves are empty, and we're just starting to pack these things. We don't have very much. We have always lived a very simple lifestyle. I mean, we are 6 people, and we've lived on, 8 or 900 square feet, and it's been good in the sense that we don't have so much to pack right now, but we need a little bit of a bigger space next time.
Yeah.
But it feels good to be packing up and to do this slowly but surely. And I guess all in all, we're just really looking forward to this move.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to it because, one person was wondering in the comments, I mean, you've been farming for years, what would you possibly want to learn? And, the thing is, I even went to farming school, but we don't do that kind of farming. We don't do industrial farming. For the last years, we have really been pursuing a regenerative farming approach, permaculture approach, which you don't learn that in the schools. We are the complete outsiders. What we have been doing, what we have been representing is nothing that is being done in Sweden more than by, a very, very small amount of farmers. God bless their hearts, and we are going against the flow, and we will continue to do that, but we just want to learn and develop so much in this. And the opportunity we have gotten now to learn from one of the world's best is just absolutely amazing to us. And then to actually go on farming after that and start a farm where we can establish this for other people is very exciting.
That's been our goal for years. We haven't. Some people maybe just assume that we have planned on living here our whole life, but that's not true. We've known for many years that we wanted to move, and for the last couple of years we've actually been really pursuing it, but not to give up all of our values and the passions that we have, but rather to pursue them more, but as a family, as our own family. Yeah, so this is not something that is this big switch up in life. It's just finally the doors have opened that we're able to do what we've wanted to do, what we've been pursuing. And
I mean, we were for a while open to if this would be possible here and happening here, but we just have felt for quite a while that we actually would like to get more training and learn more and gather more experience in this. And another thing that we also want to share in this is that, as Christians, we really do all of this prayerfully and seeking God about what He wants us to do. And in this, somebody had also said, I hope you can settle someday. And, in a sense, we are on a journey to finding home. That's kind of the motto of our channel, finding home. But to us, that's bigger. To us, finding home doesn't mean owning your own land. It can mean it can be part of that, but it's not owning your own land or being at the place of your dreams or something. Finding home to us is much more than that, and we when it comes down to it, we believe that farming or permaculture or regenerative agriculture or homesteading, none of that, or gardening, whatever you want to call it, none of that will ultimately fulfill you, and it's not your purpose of life. It can be part of that. But as Christians, we don't try to hide, and you might understand that, you might not understand that, but for us, we find our purpose in knowing God and making God known, and this is part of it for us. Ultimately, our home is with Him and in Him, and as long as we're here, we want to be good stewards of His creation. We want to be responsible and spread the news and help people to find physical, but essentially also spiritual health, because we feel like there's a great need for that, So our passions haven't changed at all, and we are still. We feel like we wouldn't be doing this if we were not certain that God was calling us to do this, calling us to go in this direction, leading us to go this way. So, it's bigger than just us, or bigger than just moving away from this place where we've lived for a while. Yeah, and right now you can expect, maybe 1, maybe 2 videos a week from us, where we just give you updated, but the time's gonna go so quickly. We will show you some stuff we'll be doing here on the farm. We'll do some exciting videos still, not just us sitting here talking, but we'll share the journey. But right now, honestly, I also need to fade out a bunch of the negative comments that are there, and just focus on what is ahead of us, focus on leading the family and getting all this done. And that's why we also fade YouTube out a bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So, Anything you want to add, or just a big thank you to all of you guys who support us and who are so excited for us, and we are too.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Check out our Facebook and Instagram. We try to put up a few updates there. Listen, if you are anywhere here in Sweden close to us and you still want to buy a couple chicks or layers, we have a few left over, so please contact me and we'll see what we can do there.
But only within Sweden.
Only within Sweden. We don't sell hatching eggs right now, only the live animals we have, and only within Sweden, and you have to come to the farm. So swedishhomestead@gmail.com if you're interested. Thanks guys, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.